Yeah. It's the SFS Wrestling podcast. I think the last part of it was not recorded properly because my microphone went out. You see, I'm motherfucking new to all this bullshit. Okay, so just bear with me. Right, so I was going to review. I've got 3 Raws to review now because I'm on a different fucking week, man. I've been very fucking busy at the moment. But I'll try my best to leave a good impression. Right, I'm just going to go through the stats of WWE Raw on the 10th of March 2025 at Madison Square Garden. The attendance was 18,088 fans. Cage match rating gave it a 7.2. My rating, I gave it a 6.5, so I didn't give it as much as Cage match did. But the cage match with CM Punk and Seth Rollins, I gave that 5 rings because I thought that was a brilliant match. Okay, now let's get to the Raw of the 17th of March. The location was no other than Brussels in Belgium. And it was a crazy, crazy crowd in Belgium. Very loud. Pretty similar to the English crowds. You know, you had that football crowd. Not the same as the Stretford End and Manchester United, but, you know, the crowd was rowdy. That's what I can say. It was a very passionate crowd. It was a good crowd, better than to be honest, most of the American crowds who think they know everything what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's good to, have a crowd that is, just there to have a good time rather than, these fucking smart marks who think you fucking know what size dick fucking Shawn Michaels has or what the fuck ever, it's like they're so obsessed with certain things. It's like, fucking hell, they want to know what side of the bed Triple H sleeps on, or what. Does The Rock really have a tiny dick syndrome, like Cody Rhodes says? Well, what Cody Rhodes meant by that was, yes, The Rock does have a tiny dick syndrome. And what he meant by that was because he's on the juice. So that's why The Rock has tiny dick syndrome. Okay? Got that, you fucking cunts? Anyway, I hate technology. I really fucking despise it. Yesterday when my microphone went out, and I started looking for it, and I just fucking snapped. I don't know why, man. It's just because, when you have something in your possession, and you've put it in that certain place, but it's not fucking there. It's just so obvious, and it took me like 2 hours to find it. And like I didn't even go anywhere. I was just sat on the fucking chair. It's so frustrating when that happens. Like I fucking punched the fucking door, man. I haven't punched a door or a wall in quite some time, actually. So, but at the end of the day, when you get angry, you get angry. The only bad thing about lashing out and getting angry is when you start procrastinating over it afterwards, in my opinion. Unless, obviously, you've killed an innocent person or something, or done something really evil, then obviously feel guilty about that. But what I'm saying is, if you're on a spiritual path or whatever, I've learned now that I make it worse, basically, by being angry that I'm angry, or, feeling anxious because I'm fucking anxious. You know what I mean? Or feel depressed because I was depressed. Because basically I'm just fighting with my own mind and just adding bullshit onto bullshit. Mine's really fucking tricky like that, man. Fucking is, Anyway, let's get back to wrestling, not spirituality and all that stuff. So yeah, Brussels. So the cage match rating on this one gave it a 6.3. I didn't actually watch all the show. I watched about half of it. My rating was 6.0. It was a crazy crowd. Penta had the opening match against Ludwig Kaiser. I think he has left the Nazi party of Gunther. And didn't I say something about the Nazi party of Gunther in a storyline that I think the WWE should go straight into, right? Because Gunther should lead a bunch of fucking Nazis like the Nazis invade Poland in 1939. Yeah, I think that Gunther, along with his Nazi comrades, should go to the Sumerian Hallelujah Islands and invade the tribal chiefs there. You know, because they have the tribes there, and they have the whole Samoan get together, the whole fucking Samoan culture, the Uafala, the Uba, he, haba, he, and Jey Uso, and you know, Roman Reigns be at the end of the table, Jacob Fatu eating on a coconut and sipping on the grapefruit, and then all of a sudden ships of Nazis come by, and Gunther is in a general hat, and the ring general becomes the general of the Samoan Island. And see, that's a great story because now you're getting personal. Now you're taking away his culture. Once you've done that, and once it's become a fucking worldwide issue, it's not a fucking wrestling issue anymore. It's a fucking worldwide issue. It's Nazis and Samoans. Like it was the fucking, the Nazis and the Krauts and the fucking Brits. The Japs and the fucking Yankees. Yeah, you get the Nazis and the Samoans going at it. That real story go into real life. I've got a storyline there. Like I said, I think Gunther should beat the fuck out of Jey Uso. Jey Uso shouldn't even get one finger on Gunther, right? Until WrestleMania. And not even on the WrestleMania match. Gunther needs to beat the fuck out of Jey Uso. Put it no disqualification. Make Jey Uso bleed. Make kids cry in the audience. Make Gunther just kill Jey Uso. But he cannot break him. And towards the end, when you get to the false finishes and you get the hope spot, but leave the hope spot to the end of the match because it's just it's believable. Because you all know that Gunther's beat Jey Uso twice. So it's just believable to not have Jey Uso get any type of offense on Gunther until the last 5 minutes of the match at WrestleMania when he gets lucky. And then you can build the story, build more to the story from that match on. Because it'd be like a fluke that Jey Uso beat Gunther. So, I think the WWE needs to fucking do that and listen to me because I am right and they are wrong and they can suck the cum out of my cock. Anyway. Yeah, so, but on this Raw, Gunther did choke out Jey Uso, which I like. Gunther came out of nowhere, and this is what I want to see every single Raw. I want Gunther to come out of nowhere and beat the living crap out of Uso. Make it worse every week. But as I said, yeah, do that angle with the Samoans and the Nazis, man. Gunther leads a bunch of fucking Nazis. He's from Austria. Hitler was from Austria and invades the Samoan Islands. You've got a worldwide issue there. It might even turn real. You never know. I mean, it might be a real war going. How good would that be if it turned into real life? I'm not joking. No, I'm not joking. Anyway, yeah, so the opening match was actually a good match. I'm not rating these matches unless, on Raw. I only rate matches on pay-per-views. But, the only matches I rate on Raw are, like, special matches, like the CM Punk versus Seth Rollins cage match. But I ain't not rating regular matches on Raw. But I gotta say the Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser match was great. Ludwig Kaiser's a great worker, and he has a certain amount of snobby German charisma to him. Because a lot of the Germans I heard when my granddad went into fucking war was not part of D-Day, but the squad that went in after the D-Day. So it was after D-Day. And I think it was like a month or so he got into Germany. Somehow being shot many times. It's fucking crazy. And he was saying that most of these fucking Germans, man, were fucking stuck up pieces of. More stuck up than the British because everyone views the British as being stuck up because of the royal family and the Queen. And he's like saying, no, man, the Germans are fucking really stuck up. They've got their hands behind the back, their heads up high. They look at you like they're better than you. I fucking hate them anyway. I'm glad we killed these Nazi cunts because I fucking hate the Nazis. You know what I mean? So, But yeah, Kaiser's a great. I don't know why they split him up from Gunther, other than they want to push him as a single star. But they need to. I think Kaiser's got something. And Penta definitely got something. I watched Penta. In Lucha Underground, man. That's when I first watched Penta, and I loved Lucha Underground. That's one independent promotion that I really loved. That and ECW and Smoky Mountain. When Lucha Underground was out, I loved the production, the matches, and it was only an hour. So and it didn't have to have real in depth storylines because you know what it was. It was Lucha Underground. You know, you know what I mean. It's not like AEW where they just fucking just over the top with everything. You know what you was getting, and it was a certain vibe with AEW. It's just AEW is supposed to be a fucking competitor to WWE. It's got billions and billions of fucking dollars behind it, man. And it was 2-3 years ago when it first started up, and when CM Punk got into the mix, and they were pushing the hell out of MJF. But I think it was this Hangman Page shit with CM Punk after they had a match in Vegas or something. And AEW just went straight downhill. You had the Punk press conference, and MJF got injured or something, and it's not been the same since. People got bored with the same old shit because it's like a fucking video game. Nothing means anything. And, the thing that happened recently with Moxley and these fucking spikes, and Moxley's off his fucking head. So, a lot of people criticize Moxley. I'm like, I do like John Moxley better than Dean Ambrose, but this fucking Blackpool Combat Club, or what is it called now? Death Riders. It's fucking bullshit because none of them are from Blackpool. They only made that because William Regal briefly went into AEW, didn't he? So this does not make sense. This Blackpool Combat Club, and these guys fucking like this Wheeler Yuta and whoever else. I mean, you got Cesaro, who's fucking legit, and John Moxley, who's a crazy bastard like me. But at the end of the fucking day, it's like a month in, that group was fucking over. And Wheeler Yuta, I'm sorry, but he just looks like a regular guy to me. Like that Danny Garcia. I'm not criticizing them or anything. Do what they do. They make good money, so they shouldn't. But at the end of the day, man, it's just regular people. And a lot of the AEW roster and the WWE roster, you just look like regular people, man, who don't know how to fight. It's like, this is not what I watch it for. I watch it because I want to suspend my disbelief. I want, like back in the day, whether it was in the NWA days, the Luthez days in the 50s, or the Attitude Era, or whatever, you could suspend your disbelief because they looked like they wanted to hurt each other. They wanted to fight, and the moves and everything looked like the timing and everything, and just the selling was, you know, I don't know, man. It's just WWE is way too choreographed, and AEW just does too many fucking high spots. And it's just like a fucking video game, a fucking deranged video game on fucking speed. Watching AEW, I watched a little bit of it, man. And I turned it off. I was like this. I think I watched it when Ricochet was doing that slap with that guy who was sat in a cross-legged position, just tapping each other on the face. I was like, what the fuck? If I ain't seen anything worse in wrestling ever. Like, even David Flair had, because at least with David Flair back in WCW, you could fucking laugh at him because, it was hilarious watching him fuck up all the time. But this is just fucking cringe. And the Moxley with the spikes thing, I don't really give a fuck, mate, to be honest. If they're going to do something like that, especially if it's not ECW, it's AEW is a billion-dollar company, like I said, and should be a competitor to WWE. If they're doing spots like putting someone through a burning table, putting someone through C4 explosive, having barbed wire ropes, throwing someone off a truck, running someone over, kidnapping the family and murdering them and burying them in the desert, do that like once every 3 months and that'd be cool. Or once every 2 months, or once every month, whatever. But not every fucking week, because I've heard they do this shit every week. And it don't become shocking anymore. Like, how many 5-star fucking matches can you have? And they're not 5-star matches. This is the point, man. They're just good gymnasts, because it's a fucking show. You know what I mean? So they're like good gymnasts bouncing around. They're not having 5-star matches, and I don't give a fuck. It's nothing like Benoit, Angle, Guerrero, Mysterio, Malenko. Them wrestlers. AEW is nothing like that. Because they knew how to time, they knew how to sell, they knew how to use emotion, they just knew how to fucking work. You know? A lot of these AEW wrestlers, I'm sorry, they cannot fucking work for shit, in my opinion. I'm not saying that because Cornette says it. I fucking watched it last week, first time in years, and it was horrible. It's gotten a lot fucking worse. Even the fans, the diehard AEW fans, do not like the product at the moment, and I can't blame them. And WWE, you ain't off the fucking hook. WWE, the point of the WWE is the corporate dick suckers, man. I see right through this shit, man. There's corporate dick suckers now. I mean, they weren't in the past, even with McMahon. McMahon was his own guy, to be honest. Oh, people going on like, Triple H is going to save WWE. Mr. McMahon's this evil person who does what he wants. And fuck it. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Yeah, Vince got deranged in his last years. I know. If you watch the fucking show, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to know that Vince McMahon has lost his faculties. That's why he's probably in all this weird, crazy shitting on a fucking lady, using black dildos and fucking raping women with it and shit. Probably lost his fucking mind. I don't know. Vince is an evil bastard. Yeah, I know. Tony Khan is a nice man. Right? I know that. And that's what matters. Right? If I was going to spend time with anyone, personally, yeah, it'd be Tony Khan. He's a nice guy. And Dutch Mantel, who criticised, I've gone through this, Tony, a bit. Tony saw it and was like, yeah, he's always doing is criticising my business. Why am I going to take this personally? And Tony was a man, and Tony gave Dutch money for his health insurance, which should not be. Oh, I'm not going to get into that anyway. But yeah. So obviously Tony Khan's a nice guy, but you're in the wrestling business, And obviously, I want AEW to succeed because it would be so much better for the wrestling business as a whole. But it's the point of being nice and being too passive. I mean, in everyday life, yeah. Like when you're away from business, yeah, but when you're running a fucking massive wrestling show and you're competing with the likes of WWE, you need to have, a bit of control over your talent. And I think he needs like someone. He needs to stop listening to that Dave Meltzer because that I think a lot of ideas from his show and a lot of content on his show is due to trying to please Dave Meltzer and his internet fan base, this small niche cult base of fans. And it's not going to work. It's not going to bring any new fans in. And the fans that are hardcore fans are going to go away eventually because they're going to get tired of seeing the same old shit. So I think Tony Khan needs someone like a writer or a booker, someone who knows what the fuck they're doing, someone who can handle the backstage politics shit properly. Someone with experience. I don't know the first mind that comes to business, but they need that in AEW. Or otherwise, they're going in 5 years. I guarantee it. In 5 years, they're not going to have no TV deal. They're going to be like fucking Impact TNA is now, just on a little fucking side stream, or they'll be completely out of business. And the bad thing is like with this MJF man, because I thought 2 years ago MJF was the best thing wrestling has got. Now he's just an afterthought. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, the guy isn't even 30 yet, man. Do something with him. Why is Jon Moxley the champion? I mean, come on, man. Jon Moxley was the champion when AEW started. He's past his expiry date. Sorry, but he is. He needs to make way for MJF. If I was booking, I would have had MJF keep the title like Roman Reigns kept the title. But now, if I was MJF now, I'd be looking at going to WWE. In the past, no, because WWE filters a lot of people. And that's probably why MJF is not going to WWE, is because he knows that he'll get filtered there. Because MJF comes out with some fucked up shit. You know, he's going to like that WWE, like throw a fucking soda over a little kid and, and tell Brian Pillman Jr. that your mother should have swallowed and don't give birth to a piece of shit like you. Your mother should have swallowed. Yeah, so, you know, if they let the filters off, is what I think WWE should do, man. They should do a show on Netflix which is for an older audience, and maybe SmackDown they should do for kids. That would be great. Because right now, Cody Rhodes is for kids. Come on. Any grown up or anybody of age, past the age of 15, 16, can see right through Cody Rhodes. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that either, if he's like that in real life, then I don't know, man. That's kind of strange to me. Someone being like that in real life. The way he talks, just the way he dresses in his suit, it looks like a fucking AI type robotic. You know, I'm not sure if Cody Rhodes is not some AI guy. You never know these days with fucking AI. Maybe Cody Rhodes is actually an AI guy, AI, and the real Cody Rhodes sitting at home fucking letting Brandy suck his dick. You know what I mean? So but I wanted Cody to turn heel. Now I don't, but come on, man, they need to do something with Cody instead of because what they seem to be doing is I might be wrong on this, but what they seem to be doing with Cody is because it's the whole father and son thing. I'm in the family. I'm a Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes is my dad. Dusty Rhodes, one of the greatest of all time. But that doesn't make you automatically a top guy. It don't. You have to have talent. Like, yeah, The Rock's dad was a tag team champion, but The Rock, you didn't give a fuck who The Rock's dad was when you watched The Rock. The Rock was his own guy. Same with Randy Orton, with his dad being Bob Orton, Mr. Perfect. With his dad being heavy in the business. So yeah, and yes, Cody Rhodes has earned to be a top guy, but he's not making impact as other top guys have. And I'm not giving up on it because it took Roman Reigns like 6 years to do. But they really need to, get better with Cody a little bit. I don't know if I don't know if he has got it. That's just the point. I don't know, or if he has got it. If he hasn't, then maybe you need to take the title off him and give way to someone else because there's Gunther, Braun Breaker's on the rise, Fatu's on the rise. I mean, MJF, bring him over. You know. Anyway, I want I'm going off key here. So yeah, Penta defeated Ludwig in 11 minutes 19 seconds. Ah, right. Another match. I don't know what Austin Theory and Grayson Waller have, to do with Jey Uso, but I suppose it's one of them filler matches. You gotta, you know, they're on the roster. They need something to do, I suppose. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Like Grayson Waller, man, I'm not too big on him. Austin Theory, I think they dropped the ball on him, but they can pick it back up because he's still young. So they give him that big victory over John Cena. What was it, like 3 WrestleManias? It was 39 or 38, I'm not sure. I think it was 39 in LA. Yeah, but what did he do with him afterwards, man? Cena was there pushing him, man. Pushing Austin Theory. Like, Cena went out of his way to try and get Austin Theory over, and which was supposed to happen, but don't know, someone backstage or someone is like, oh, he might be too young, or I don't know. I mean, I've still got hope for Austin Theory, though. You know? He is the standout guy of that tag team, definitely. I'm not too high on Grayson Waller, never have been. But that's just my opinion. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's just back and forth. Now, Uso faced Grayson Waller the previous week, and now he's facing Austin Theory. Defeated both of them. Well, this week was different because, like I said, Gunther came and choked Jey Uso out, which is what is supposed to happen. They should have done that a week ago or something, because now you take it up a notch. Now you get fucking Gunther in Frankfurt, Germany, or some shit like that, with a bunch of skinheads, fucking white supremacist, whatever. You know what I mean? Fucking loading up a fucking ship, right? Fucking heels. Who's more heels than loading up a ship and saying, this is where we're going, and holding up a big map and crossing out one of the Samoan islands, I think all Samoan islands are near New Zealand and Australia. They're near the Philippines, yeah. And what you have Gunther doing is crossing out them islands with a red marker pen. You're like, what the fuck is he doing? But then the next week he turns up on the island and says, "Oh, I knew what he was doing. He was invading Samoan Island. The Nazis are trying to occupy the land of Samoa." I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That makes good. People are gonna watch. And especially if it turns real, then it would be on the news, won't it? So there you go. Oh, doggy, doggy, dog. Anyway, so we got the LWO versus the American Made. That's Chad Gable's group, but Chad Gable is nowhere to be seen. He's in Mexico trying to be the luchador. So he comes back at being an Olympic Kurt Angle style luchador wrestler. Yes, baby. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think America made very much without Chad Gable. And like I said, Chad Gable, what is he doing, man? I like Chad Gable. He's the real deal. You know, need to, uh, he has great matches. He's a great wrestler. He's like a mini version of Kurt Angle. Is Mr. Chad Gable? He's got charisma. I think Otis kind of held him back a bit. I'm not too high on Otis. I've always been high on Chad Gable. But hopefully they'll do something with this, mystical tour that Chad Gable has been on throughout Mexico. What he should do is should film, just come back and put it on something like a side, YouTube show where it's like the adventures of Gable's adventures into Mexicana, where maybe he runs across a few fucking cartels or there's some taco, it's a mamacita, yeah, viva la loca, you know, and then he bullies some Mexican wrestlers, and then he tries to bully this little wrestler, but then he turns out to be Rey Mysterio and gets his ass whipped. But yeah, need to do something with this. LWO need to get rid of the LWO, in my opinion, because you're just living off Pasquale in the WCW. It worked. It was going to work for about a month, that group. And afterwards, it's gotten a bit stupid, in my opinion. Just like that Wyatt 6 didn't really work for me. So, yeah, American Made defeat the LWO. Then you get the main event. You get Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor, I call him. Finn Balor. It's a while since Finn Balor's wear that mask, isn't it? I remember when he first came in, we are kind of going to push him because he made him beat Seth Rollins in that. That was a great match. It was at SummerSlam 2016. Bloody hell, the attires them both had on, man. It was like fucking being in a psychedelic show, you know. I don't know if I had psychedelics while watching it. I'll say this, you know, with Seth Rollins' entrance at last year's WrestleMania. You know, he did that mad entrance with those fucking like them, you know, that Chinese fucking New Year celebration shit. We have all the Cantonese motherfuckers with them, you know, them strange masks, you know, doing all that. The China, you know what I'm saying. You've seen any Chinese martial arts film or any of it in the news? You see these, you know, all these masks in the Chinese celebrations. You know, you had all these like characters behind him, and yeah, man. What I'm saying is I was on psychedelics and I was stoned. So I was like, what the fuck? Whoa! Like most people would have cringed at that, but I was on psychedelics, so it was very. How can I put this? A very transcending, unique experience watching that entrance, being on the magical mushrooms. May I fucking say? Right. Yeah, I've got off key again. I was just saying it's a while since Finn Balor's been in that, you know, the demon or whatever. I didn't really like the name the demon, but I did like him in the mask. I thought it looked, you know, I like looking at the colours and that. Anyway, Braun Breaker, Steiner's son, and the big bad Booty Daddy's nephew. Speaking of the big bad Booty Daddy, Scott Steiner, I think is what is his kid? Because Braun Breaker's not his kid; he's Rick's kid. Yeah, but Big Papa Pump has got a kid. I can't remember who he said his name. I've got it on the notes somewhere, but you know it'll take me ages to find it. But yeah, Braun Breaker, they should, you know, I haven't been watching it like you know your diehard fan. So, but what I've seen of Braun Breaker is he reminds me a lot of his dad and his uncle. And Scott Steiner said this. You know, the only difference is that he's in this current system. He's in a totally different system, totally different world. You know, the wrestling world was a lot harsher and rougher when his parents, you know, his dad and uncle were in the business. But he's a fucking Steiner, so don't get it twisted with Braun Breaker. He'd probably rip me in half in less than fucking 1 minute. Because the guy, there's something about the DNA of the Steiners, the fucking animals. And my favorite tag team of all time is the Steiner brothers. Definitely the Steiners. And I think I said this, but I'm not sure if I did say this and it got cut off my microphone. Like I said, the last part, if you listen, was cut off by my microphone. But as I said, I think Scott Steiner, well, like, I went through the whole fucking thing about him still hating Hogan because Hogan stopped him from being champion in early '99 because he was the best thing on that show. And WCW was slowly dying in 1999. Round about spring '99, WCW went on the decline. It weren't after the Finger Poke of Doom. It was slowly declining then. But after Spring Stampede, right? If you do your research, sorry, I'm not trying to be a smartass or anything. I'm just saying, um, if you watch Spring Stampede straight after that pay per view, it's WCW goes downhill, and then they have the new arena, don't they, and new logo and all that shit. And what I'm saying is, during that period of time, the best thing on the show was Big Papa Pump. You know, when he was doing all them crazy promos, starting on the crowd, just you never knew what he was gonna say. It was fucking what the shit he was saying was so hilarious but entertaining at the same fucking time. I mean, hilarious but intimidating at the same time. I mean, but yeah, Big Papa Pump should have been champion in early 1999. If you watched it when he was feuding with DDP, he should have been champion, and he was going to be champion. But Hogan, being political manipulator that he is, according to Steiner, according to many people, stopped, pulled some strings in the back and stopped that from happening. Now, a year later they do, but I feel like that was it was still great for Steiner. Don't get me wrong. Everything he worked for his whole career, he got, and he even said it was a big achievement. But for a fan, or for me, it's like, in it. By the time he won that, I think the title from Booker T, it's kind of too late, man. His WCW was definitely on his way out. Come late, I think it was mid 2000, late 2000, he won the title, right? But that's a bit too late because WCW was on the outs, and hardly anyone was kind of watching it then. But that's no knock on Scott Steiner because, like I said, Scott Steiner was the best thing on the show. I'm saying they did wrong. Hogan did wrong, Steiner. Because really, they should put the championship on Steiner in early '99, in my opinion. Anyway, yeah. So what I'm saying is, Bron Breakker is a lot like you know his father and his uncle, and I see big things from him in the future. Definitely. I've heard certain people complain about his championship run. I can't have really an opinion on it because I haven't watched it like you know your hardcore fan. So I'm not too familiar. But what I've seen of Bron Breakker, he's a fucking machine. He's believable. He wrestles like his fucking uncle and dad, and he's got the tools right there. So there you go. So Bron Breakker, and he had a decent match. Did Bron Breakker defeating Finn? Finn's a veteran, so. But Braun, he's not like Goldberg. You know what I mean? I'm not no diss towards Goldberg, but he was very limited what Goldberg kind of could do. You know, when he did things, it was impactful as a motherfucker. But he was very limited. Bron Breakker ain't limited. He's not a machine that's unlimited. He can't. Bron Breakker knows how to work, and I bet you a ton that his fucking dad and his uncle have been teaching him for hours how to work because them two one of the best tag teams of all time and one of the best workers of all time. So keep pushing Bron Breakker. Keep the IC strap on him until he's ready to move to that next level, the superstar. So this Raw, yeah, I rated it 6.0, Cage Match 6.3. Yeah, it was. But now I'm going to go to this Raw's. The main thing on this Raw, which everyone was talking about, got 2.9 million views, was finally, finally, John Cena shows up. Now, a lot of people, well, certain people, may I say, are criticizing this. And I get why. Because there was no mention of The Rock, no mention of Travis Scott, no mention of kind of getting deep into why. Seeing as you've really got a title shot at WrestleMania, why do you really do it? But the promo that he cut on the fans was fucking great. I mean, Cena knows how to. He's nearly as good as The Rock when it comes to commanding an audience and taking the audience on a ride. And he took us on a ride. He tried to make us fans feel guilty as fuck. I'm like, we're the fucked up ones. And Cena is so good at it, about tricking us. Because it's like, the fans in Brussels made it easy for Cena to rip into him. And Cena did. He ripped into him. He ripped into the kids. And it was great. I loved Cena. I never thought I'd ever see it. But yeah, I thought it was a great promo by John Cena. Given what he was given. Obviously, I would have mentioned The Rock. I would have had The Rock come out. I've had someone else. Like, so there's a grand scheme, like I mentioned, the Illuminati, Hollywood Illuminati, angle. I don't know if they're still going to go with this angle or they're going to go down the Cena versus the fans angle kind of thing. But I don't see that any longevity. You know what I mean by longevity? Like, even lasting 3 months until people kind of get a bit bored of that shit. So, yeah, the promos he cut and, cutting on the kids and You know, you people are horrible people. You're horrible people. Like it's a great heel promo because he thinks he's in the right and kind of is, to be honest. Because the fans have, well, not in recent years, but when Cena was active full time, treat Cena like a piece of shit. You know, the fruity pebbles shit, the fuck you Cena, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. If Cena wins, we riot. You know, they were booing it. They were booing Cena, man, as soon as he won the title. You know, as soon as they put the company, got the company behind him and made him the face of the company, Cena got, that's when the crowd split. And you had the kids and the women usually chanting, let's go Cena. And then you had the 18 to 45 year old saying, fuck you, Cena, Cena sucks. But eventually won everyone's respect, Cena. You know, after a while, as soon as he came part time, he's become a legend. So that's why I said that if I'd have loved it if they did that heel turn when they actually planned to do it after he lost to The Rock at WrestleMania 28, because they actually planned for Cena to do a heel turn then. But it was good. But this is where I can't, they didn't. This shouldn't have happened. This is where they should have just cut it off or brung The Rock out and gotten into the story. Cody Rhodes comes out in a suit, like clapping to the fans and smiling. I'm like, what the fuck? Last time you seen John Cena, he was beating the living fucking shit out of you, smashing you on the face with your fucking dad's watch, opening you up, kicking you in the head, fucking holding you down with his foot on your head. I mean, if that was me, I'd be running to the ring, tackling John Cena and ground and pounding him and biting on his fucking ear. You'd have to fucking army to fucking pull me off that motherfucker. Right? What does Cody do? He's just shut up. I don't know, man. It just felt weird. It just like when Cody came out, Cena did a great job, but when Cody came out, it's like he's just trying to reason with Cena instead of just coming out and saying, "What the fuck did you do? You fucked me over for like that." Not trying to be diplomatic with him because it did nothing. When Cody came out, it did absolutely nothing. It's like he said, "I want to. This is not the John Cena I want to face." Well, you're facing fucking John Cena, aren't you? So it doesn't matter which Cena you face because you're facing him, aren't you? At the main event at WrestleMania. So it doesn't matter. No one says that. Austin didn't come out. Say if he was had a match with Triple H. Triple H said, "Austin, you son of a bitch. It was me, Austin. Come out now, you son of a bitch. Come on." And then Austin would just come out. Boom, the glass would break. Austin would just stare right into Triple H. Boom, hit the ring. Boom, boom, boom. Fucking fight all around the arena. But no, it's just this awkward fucking stare down. And I just don't like it. It just don't make sense. It's just choreographed. And that's what I mean. I think Cody is being very choreographed. I think this whole shtick is very choreographed. I don't know how much longer it can go on for until people, really start giving him what Roman Reigns was getting before he turned into a tribal chief. I don't want to see that again, man. I don't. Which I won't because I probably won't be watching wrestling anyway. To be honest, because I've got a book to write. I watch wrestling full time in the Attitude Era. I like to say I'm a casual fan. Maybe I'm a mark. Maybe I am. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, but yeah, that didn't need to happen. That Cody promo. If bringing Cody out, at least do something with him. Have him come out. Have him have a mad mental look on his face. You don't even have to say attack John Cena. Like as soon as Cody makes his way down the ring, someone like can jump him. Like some fucking guy who's part of this new Hollywood Illuminati group in a mask and jump him. And you don't have Cody even touch John Cena until WrestleMania, because every time Cody Rhodes tries to physically attack Cena, someone fucks him up. I think what they should do is bring back authority figures. This is why this Hollywood Illuminati story will work. Yeah, The Rock's not there all the time, or either Cena, but you can bring in different people, like, say, Stephanie. If it was up to me, I'd bring fucking back Vince McMahon, but, you know, maybe that's going a bit too far, but, yeah. The only guy I can see helping Cody, the only guy who makes sense who can help Cody and turn this thing into a real angle with real factions, real authority figures that will make wrestling interesting, as well as turn the show back down to 2 hours, where, because this, you can't, if you're not following it up. It was great what you did with Cena, and Cena cut a great promo, but everything else, man, you're not WWE are not really following up, man. It seems like they're not really for the fans. They're more for the fucking sponsors, and which I know they are. Yeah, they're more for making money, fucking advertising for these big corporate capitalistic twats sponsors. That's what they're for. And that's why I do not like the WWE, because I know what they stand for. And definitely more than ever now that Vince is gone, and it's not it's not a family owned business anymore. It's part of a corporate fucking big stock. Even though it's been on the stock market since 1999, public. It's proper fucking public now. Like, it's not even wrestling people that own it. Fucking TKO, for fuck's sake. They don't even know anything about wrestling. So there you go. Anyway, this Raw, I gave it a 6.0. You know, I thought, yeah, you start off the show with Cena, but what do you follow that up with? Back in the, I hate going to back in the day, or back in the Attitude Era, but when you start the show, you had Austin McMahon, yeah, right? Or Triple H, Rock, whoever. You had a promo to start off the show to tell everyone what's going on, who got screwed last week, what Vince did to screw over Austin, or what fucked up shit Austin did to get his revenge. You'd follow that on with a big promo, and they're going to say what they're going to do each other tonight, and make the matches, whatever. But during the whole show, shit, the main storyline would still be a feature. Like, the commentators would talk about it. You would have fights backstage. You'd have interviews backstage. You'd have certain matches between wrestlers who are entwined in the storyline. And then, obviously, with the main event would be the payoff for the storyline. Not the huge payoff, the pay-per-view WrestleMania payoff, but the payoff into the next chapter of the storyline, which does not exist in wrestling today. And that's why I give this show a 6.0. I'll be ready to review this past Raw that came from Glasgow, Scotland. Yeah.